Yes, thank you all so much for taking time to get on the phone this morning. I know everyone's schedule is incredibly busy, so I do appreciate it. Heaven is for Real is coming out April 16th, the Wednesday before Good Friday, and it is, a story that is so captivating and inspirational. When I got the book about 3 years ago, it was one of those books that literally I read in one sitting, and I could not put down, and just the true story of the Burpos and, young Colton at 4 years old having a near-death experience and coming back, talking about his trip to heaven and meeting Jesus and all that he saw was so compelling. And, for me, I'm African-American and Christian and a studio executive, which, is quite an interesting combination at times. And this was one of those books and one of the pieces of material that I just knew that it was a destiny thing that I had to do. And Joe Roth, who's one of the producers, and Bishop Jakes, who's another producer, we all really came together on this project to develop this script. We got Randall Wallace, who wrote Braveheart and directed great movies like Secretariat and When We Were Soldiers and Man Behind the Iron Mask, to come on board and rewrite the script and direct it. And all of us were really feeling the purpose behind this story, and needing to have hope and bring inspiration to the world through the lens of a young child, and being able to bring people, peace. I mean, so many of us, carry the anxiety of, what's going to happen to us, what has happened to our loved ones, and to have a messenger of hope through the eyes of a child to come back and say, hey, we don't have to worry so much, is truly a project and a message that, I just knew that it was something that I had to get to market, and certainly, working within the studio system, sometimes people say, oh, can you be Christian and, be in Hollywood? And my answer is yes. And, this Heaven is for Real project is probably one of the few projects that I can remember, where you have a movie, and I say quote-unquote faith-based movie because I just consider it a film, but I know that people love to put labels on it. So because when I say faith-based movie, you understand what I'm talking about. But it's one of the few, if not one of the only faith-based films that I can remember a studio championing and from development all the way through production and distribution. A lot of faith-based films are made independently and then distributed, but this is a film that was homegrown from top to bottom and from start to finish, and I think that is a huge accomplishment, and really believing that when you see how vibrant the market is right now with success of Son of God and God's Not Dead and Noah, it really feels like this movie is appropriately and perfectly and divinely timed for its release. So I'm very, very excited about it. And having been at the studio now been at Sony Pictures for 9 years, it really feels like this is a film that, I really have been able to, it articulates kind of who I am and the type of movies I want to continue to make. So I'm really excited about it. And then, of course, it was an honor to get one of the 2014 Trumpet Awards for their Media and Film Award, which will air on the TV One network on Sunday, Easter Sunday. So I'm really excited about that. It was truly a great show. I mean, just a lot of fun. Kid and Play performed, okay? They shut it down, and there was just so much fun. But it was just also a privilege and an honor for the work that I'm doing, to be recognized, but I really truly see it as a down payment on what I might do in the future, because I know that I've done a lot, but I really know I have a lot more to go, and I really look at the award. The award is really an opportunity to just keep pushing and to remind me that, while I have done some things, there's still a lot more to do and a lot more to go. And then also with the help desk that I won my episode for the help desk that I filmed for Oprah's network earlier this year. It will begin airing in June, and really excited about that. It's been a great opportunity to really have a family with the OWN family, and from starting with the Super Soul Sunday show to doing the warm-up for Oprah and Bishop Jakes' life class at MegaFest that was taped during the summer of last year. And I even have a kind of a bit part on the Lindsay show. She called me for some guidance and prayer, and I was able to counsel her in that moment, and then now, doing the help desk. So it's really been a great opportunity to continue to partner and continue to, work with the network as, we all endeavor to inspire and uplift as many people as we can.
DeVon, how are you? I interviewed you on the red carpet in Atlanta, and we talked about the youth, and you gave me a little advice for the youth of today. But I find that a lot of times people go through what they call a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
So for 40-plus people, what advice, as far as some people just discover their passion or haven't discovered their passion even as they age? So what kind of tips or advice would you give to older people as opposed to youth?
Yes, if you're still here, you're here for a reason. That, your existence right now is not by accident. It is on purpose. And I would say, when you get to that over 40 age, what I find is a lot of people tend to live life a little bit in the rearview mirror. And there's a lot of regret. There's a lot of second guessing. There's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of, man, I should have done this. And, when I talk to people, I'm like, who are over 40 and even over 50 and sometimes even 60, I say, hey, you have to let go of that. Because all the energy you're putting into what you could have, would have, should have done, you're not allowing the energy you need to focus on where you are right now. If God has you here, he has you here for a reason. So part of it is the commitment to the discovery of why you are here and what you're supposed to do. And the challenge as we get older is that when we're younger, we feel a lot more predisposed to operate in faith, right? Because we have less things that hold us down. Many times we don't necessarily have a house, we don't have a family, we don't have kids, so we can just kind of go and come as we please. But as we get older, the mountain of responsibilities begin to weigh on us because we do have a mortgage, or we do have a car, or we do, have a spouse, and we do have children, and we begin to think that, well, what I really want to do is not possible. That has to be erased because, from a spiritual standpoint, the Bible, tells us, faith without works is dead. We walk by faith, not by sight. Faith is the only thing that can make us acceptable to him. So no matter what age, faith is not regulated by age. So at 40 over, I say, hey, first of all, you have to believe. Second of all, you have to look at your life, right? If you're still here, let's say God has you on this earth for another 40 or 50 years, what do you really want to be doing? And let's start figuring out where in your life right now do you feel that the pressure is so overwhelming that it's stifling your ability to believe that what you really want to do is possible. So you got to do an assessment. Second of all, you got to say, okay, what do I really love to do? Let's just start there. What do I really love to do? What really is my passion? And the more you begin to identify and really begin to tap into that passion, no matter what it may be, that's truly where the peace and the freedom and the love in your life will come. And, but what I find so much is that people over 40, there's a cynicism, there is a doubt. Because you get older and you say, man, that's for them young people. And I'm like, no, it's not. I was telling my aunt who's almost 90 years old. I said, listen,
right.
Hey, you still here. All right, so let's figure it out. And, and right now, she stays committed to doing the food bank. And she's 90, okay? And so, she's doing the food bank, going to get food, feeding the homeless. And that is part of her purpose. That is part of her calling. So I challenge anyone over 40 to don't rest on your laurels and don't allow your life to be complacent. Because your complacency will ultimately be the barrier and the conflict that's keeping you from your destiny. And if you are here, you're here for a reason, and you have to keep pushing, and you have to know that it's possible. And you have to, think about, I use it as an example. Think about Morgan Freeman, right? Morgan Freeman believed that he could be an actor. He really didn't make it till he was 50.
Wow.
50, okay? So, that's a long time. Keep pushing. And now he's Morgan Freeman, right? So,
right.
And he's I believe he's in his 70s. So think about that. And look at Sam Jackson. Sam Jackson didn't make it till he was in his 40s, right? So it's just so important to not think that your better days are behind you because they're actually ahead of you.
Right. That's great advice. I appreciate that.
Thank you.